I'd like to talk about women affairs, i.e., the struggles that women face here in Zimbabwe, but in particular here at Nkayi. You find that most of the husbands work in town, and the wives remain here in the rural areas. What is prevalent is that while the husband is in town, he will have extramarital affairs, and generally this is an accepted a trend here in Zimbabwe. Especially with our black community. So 9 times out of 10, you find that he will contract, a disease, maybe HIV/AIDS. He is not protected. He comes down here to his legal wife, and unfortunately, he knows what he's been doing, but he doesn't take any measures to protect his wife, and the wife contracts, the disease, and obviously there's disaster there. And even if the wife is suspicious of that situation, you find that when she tries to protect herself, the husband will become violent and say, "Why are you doing this? Is it because while I was away, you had your marital activities?" And so there's tension there. So the wife, because she's afraid of being beaten up, she will succumb to that, and unfortunately again, she's vulnerable and she may contract the disease like that. And it is said that most of our women do not know their inheritance rights. Generally speaking, in Zimbabwe, and in particular in Nkayi, let me say in Zimbabwe generally, you find that our culture has it that the woman does not own land, nor does she own any cattle, though she's married legally and all, but she cannot assume any, ownership. So what normally happens is that in the unfortunate situation where the husband dies, the relatives of the husband would want to grab, those assets, unless the woman is aware of her legal rights, her inheritance rights, then she can fight for herself. Otherwise, you find a situation whereby the family, of this late husband can grab, everything from the woman, and the children, and the wife, poor wife, will suffer for that. And so, as an organization, we try to bring all these issues, as discussion points. Discussion issues where women are aware of their rights, and how also the community at large, even the men, are made aware of the disadvantages, that our society has brought upon itself, especially on the wife. So we do have workshops that we put together, and we call the relevant people, authorities, whoever is well versed in that subject, to come and alert the community and teach them, sort of try and enlighten them. We are seeing little by little change. It's not our organization only. You find that generally these NGOs are trying in that regard, to help like that. And lastly, if I may talk about the girl child, in a situation whereby the wife she dies ahead of the husband, sometimes the relatives of the late wife, who has just died, they feel a pressure to provide another woman for this man. So it is quite prevalent that they will take a youngster, maybe a teenager, who still has her life to live, but they give this girl to this man who has just lost a wife, out of that heart that says we don't want him to suffer, and no one thinks about the status of that man. Probably the wife or her auntie would have died out of AIDS or HIV, but they overlook that. And poor girl, she finds herself, in that unfortunate situation where again she's made a wife whilst young. She's lost, her future there. And we also have sexual abuses, that are being reported, especially in Nkayi. I can't exactly say why this is so, except that, I can say that maybe the lack of education also, is contributive to that.